1992's Split Second, starring Rutger Hauer, is an action-packed sci-fi noir monster thriller that blends a serial killer cat-and-mouse chase with occult themes, wrapped up in a buddy cop comedy, all with a protagonist with psychic powers.
He's out here somewhere.
In other words, this movie collects genres the same way I collect fat, useless dogs. But with all the confusing chaos of the movie trying to be too many things at once, does it actually pull it off? Or does it collapse under the weight of its own ambition? Is Rutger Hauer the man for the job? Or is Split Second just a 2-hour-long waste of your time?
Split Second.
There are no similarities between the victims.
There has to be.
This beast doesn't care what it kills.
Why do you call him a beast?
What would you call something with teeth like this?
Now, Split Second takes place in London, so I contacted my good friend Nigel, an honest-to-God Brit, to give you the synopsis of the movie. Go ahead, Nigel. Split Second stars Rutger Hauer as Harley Stone, a belligerent, if not completely daft detective on the hunt for a serial killer.
I'll find you.
Stone's search for the killer has him strutting down every dark alley in 2008 London. Due to the effects of global warming, a 40-day-long rain has flooded most of London's streets, so you'll be seeing the Barbies riding farm boats, and everyone's mucking about through water that looks like over steep Earl Grey. And crikey, you'd think Detective Stone is hunting down the killer all by himself? Think again. He's paired up with Dick Durkin, a by-the-book rookie detective who specializes in the profiling of serial killers. Together, the two of them work through their many differences to hunt down the killer,
who might just be a bloody monster.
Thank you, Nigel. Now, even though Split Second incorporates a multitude of genres, the genre that hits hardest is probably the buddy cop movie. The film checks a lot of those boxes. We have our two buddies, Stone and Durkin, who of course don't like each other at first, but are forced to work together by the perpetually angry police chief.
He goes with you.
I work alone.
You work with who, I say, or you don't work at all.
Stone is a loose cannon. Durkin is a by-the-book nerd.
What's this?
Books, paranormal psychology, astrology, the occult.
Read them all?
Last night, after sex.
It's a classic setup, but sadly, the chemistry between the two of them falls a little flat. The best I can say is that Rutger Hauer does pull off acting annoyed at Durkin fairly well. But overall, the movie did a poor job balancing their quirks, and the banter between the two, while sometimes entertaining, never feels all that genuine.
Detective Dick Durkin, you got a car.
Yeah, of course.
You take yours, I'll take mine.
What I'm saying is, you'd hope for some real friction between the two cops, but Durkin is too amiable for Stone to get under his skin, and never quite pushes Stone's buttons the way you'd hope.
No! I hate rats.
Though there is a really funny moment where Stone spots Durkin doing what looks like Tai Chi on the roof of his car.
Durkin, you're sick.
Durkin, played by Alistair Duncan, is a very odd character. His mannerisms and dialogue, they're oftentimes feeling very inhuman.
I think you smoke too much.
That helps ease the tension.
Oh, I can get rid of that. Massage is one of my hobbies.
That's it, now just relax and let the tension.
From the way he eats, to the way he brags about how much sex he has with his girlfriend.
What's the matter, you don't get laid?
Yeah. Every night.
You get laid every night and you run 5 miles every morning?
Yeah. Except Sundays. And my girlfriend and I stay in bed and, fool around.
That's disgusting.
It feels a lot like Durkin is trying to convince Stone that he is in fact a human. I'm serious when I say that I thought there was going to be a twist in the movie that reveals that Durkin was an android. I was absolutely sure he was a robot after he sustains a gunshot to the stomach and flies out a window, only to return seemingly unscathed later. But he goes on to mention he was just wearing a bulletproof vest.
Who's supposed to be dead?
Never heard of a bulletproof vest?
How convenient for the robot. But Durkin's weirdness aside, Harley Stone is pure campy fun, and he's made even more special by Rutger Hauer's performance. He's flawless in this movie. Every line he delivers, every cigar he lights up, every dog he insults.
Police, dickhead.
It's all perfect. He's the quintessential grizzled, short-fused cop guy.
Do you want to tell me why you turned me in for a medical?
However, I'm not sure it was intentional to do this, but I do wish the movie made him more competent at his job. According to his chief, he's the best.
They say he's the best.
He is.
But for most of the movie, he's actually pretty ineffective. Sure, he looks cool, but put a gun in his hand and he's suddenly Mr. Bean. He often doesn't know what the heck he's shooting at.
I'm okay. Need some fresh air.
Not to mention his debilitating panic attacks. The movie even gives Harley psychic powers for some reason, which don't even actually turn out to be very useful.
That could be why you're psychic.
I just feel things, that's all.
I hate to be the one to break the news, but that's what psychic is.
He can't read minds or anything, he just shares a vague connection with the killer.
I can hear your heartbeat.
But whatever, man, it's Rutger Hauer. And the single greatest thing about him is that never, even for 1 second, does he look like he's ever phoning it in, or acting like he's above the role. Even with a character as absurd as Harley Stone. He elevates Split Second with his performance, and it's a shame because the movie could have gone down in B-movie history had it not been for the disappointing monster. Getting the monster wrong was the movie's worst offense. They don't show the monster until the final 10 minutes or so there's this intense build-up the entire movie as to who the killer is, or what the killer is, or what kind of monster it is. Is it a man? Is it a monster? It takes big animal bites out of its victims' hearts, but it also taunts Stone in a way that leads you to believe it's more calculated than a simple animalistic monster. Durkin even supposes the killer might be Satan himself.
Scorpio is the sign most susceptible to the powers of darkness. To Scorpio, the idea of being joined with a supernatural being is of the utmost importance. And the most powerful supernatural being, Satan.
Could it be Satan?
Apparently, during the film's production, nobody in the crew could agree on what the monster should look like, or what it was even supposed to be.
I thought in the notes I read, is the killer a guy, though, or a monster guy?
The killer turns out to be sort of like half and half. He's a weird guy.
Yeah. Doctor.
Surprise. It's a nice surprise. You never really get to see a
Well,
lot.
it was up until the point I laid it on for you. I'm sorry.
The crew was almost as puzzled as the two lead characters are. And because decisions on the monster's look were delayed and there was no clear vision, the creature's designer, Stephen Norrington, who would later go on to direct Blade and the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, only had about 3 weeks to design and build the whole suit. Which is why the result, when you finally do see it, is a little underwhelming. For this video, I was prepared to keep the look of the monster a secret and not spoil it, since the movie keeps it a secret, but then I realized it's right there on the cover. You know, right next to where it says, Blade Runner meets Alien. Split Second wishes it was like Alien. Both movies are similar in that they sort of shoot around the creature, but Alien makes clever use of lighting and sets and sounds, whereas Split Second just gives us these first-person POV shots of the monster, along with the sound of it breathing. The breathing itself doesn't sound like it's coming from some bloodthirsty animal either. It could have been a neat, budget-friendly shortcut, but it sounds too close to a human's weak, labored breathing. Less like a terrifying monster, more like me after I've had one too many ribs. Split Second is a movie that spends 90 minutes promising you something biblical, almost literally, and then in the final act falls a little flat. It's a serial killer movie, a buddy cop comedy, a monster thriller, an occult mystery, and a sci-fi noir all at once, none of them fully realized. But cutting through that mess is a very entertaining Rutger Hauer performance. The story is interesting enough, and the movie has a surprising amount of humor. And you will spend half of the movie completely flabbergasted watching Alistair Duncan apparently not playing the part of a robot detective.
What the hell are you doing?
80% of all accidents are caused by poor visibility.
So, Split Second, definitely see it. It has a little something for everybody. And even though it tried to be too many things at once and became kind of an unfocused mess, it's a fun mess. And thankfully, the movie gives Rutger Hauer all the time he needs to do exactly what he does best: glare.
Good morning, children. You may hear some strange noises today, like explosions. Boom! Guns.
We got a die-hard situation here.
Masterminds was unfortunately a commercial and critical failure. But with a premise heavily inspired by one of cinema's best action movies, where did it all fall apart?